football. We took it to the playoffs. Collinsville, white and purple, yeah, we are the K-House. I said the K-House. The school of champions, we laugh a lot, we rap a lot. I'm asked to be an Indian again. I'm telling them that Collinsville is where it's at. So when we on the field of court, they better be aware of that. They scared of that. Of course, look at the ceiling. What up, Mr. Floyd? Yeah, it's Collinsville. And yes, I'm glad to say that I'm a K-Hawk. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1 and 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm by my white and purple, Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the chiefin' crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play with sports. I play my cards right, now we're good with court. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm the back cause everybody rolling with me, K-Hawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
All the freshmen,
High school, champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good evening to everyone, and we welcome you to Kahok Stadium here on the campus of Collinsville High School. I am Todd Duke. We are getting you ready for a little Lady Kahok soccer action as Collinsville gets ready to take on the Freeburg Lady Midgets. And again, my name is Todd Duke. Welcome in to today's pregame show brought to you by Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives, all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, 410 Regency Center. That is just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville. You can give them a call at 618-343-3602 or online at chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Kahawks come into this contest 5-9 on the season. They are 2-6 in Southwestern Conference play under their fourth-year head coach Jody Munoz. Freeburg, they are 7-8-1 on the year, and they are 3-1 in Cahokia Conference play. Becky Gantz is their head coach. She's into her 6th year in that capacity. Well, the Lady Kahawks closed out the rainy month of April on a high note and snapped a 4-match winless streak with a 4-0 road win at Centralia last night to give Collinsville their 5th win of the season to match the 5-win season of a year ago, with 4 more games to go after tonight remaining on this season's schedule. Playoff seedings came out earlier today, and the playoff schedule comes out tomorrow. Collinsville received the number 6 seed, and we'll pass along the playoff schedule once we get it posted tomorrow by the IHSA. Well, after taking 2 games from 2 Missouri schools at a tournament in Carbondale in mid-April, the Lady Kahawks lost a tough 2-1 overtime match at Belleville East on April the 17th. Collinsville then had a rough go on offense as the Lady Kahawks were shut out in 3 straight matches with losses to Belleville West, Orchard Farms, and O'Fallon. But Collinsville was the team posting a clean sheet last night with that 4-0 win at Centralia. Collinsville scored 1 goal in the first and 3 more in the second, with goals coming from senior Morgan Lang, junior Carly Call, and 2 goals from freshman Peyton Duhadway, with sophomore goalkeeper Paige Barnemeyer posting her 2nd clean sheet of the season. The Lady Midgets, they are a tad behind their season win totals from the last 3 seasons, with Freeburg averaging 15 wins per year in 2022, 2023, and 2024. All 3 of those previous seasons resulted in a regional championship for Freeburg, plus a sectional title in 2023. The season got off to a rough start for the Lady Midgets with 3 straight losses against Springfield, Jabot, and Rochester, with the final 2 being close 1-0 losses. Freeburg finally got into the win column with a 7-0 win over Salem. That was followed by back-to-back losses to 2 Catholic programs, with losses against Father McGivney and Altoff. Back-to-back wins followed that, with wins at Mater Dei and East Alton Wood River. 2 more losses followed versus Granite City and a game at Bree Central before the only tie for Freeburg in a 0-0 draw versus Waterloo. Back-to-back 2-1 matches followed the tie, a win at Mascoutah and a loss at Alton Marquette. Since then, Freeburg has rattled off 3 straight wins over Westland, Centralia, and Carbondale, with the Lady Midgets outscoring those 3 teams with a combined 20-2 score. And they come into Kahok Stadium tonight coming off of a 7-2 win against Carbondale last night. All right, we continue with our senior interviews. We only have 1 more left after tonight, and tonight is senior Ella Borm. And my conversation with Ella will come your way right after we take a timeout here on the Chiropractic Works pregame show on the Kahok Sports Network.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisired lipolaser machine. The Invisired machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisired technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisired offers.
Are you a collector of sports trading cards and other sports memorabilia? Then you need to check out Rippin' Rookies Cards and Collectibles in Collinsville. Rippin' Rookies specializes in sports cards from all the major sports, MLB, NBA, NFL, plus Star Wars cards and more. Rippin' Rookies buys, sells, and trades cards and other memorabilia, and they have a large selection of single and graded cards. Walk-ins at Rippin' Rookies are welcome, or you can set up an appointment for large collections at sales@rippinrookies.com. Rippin' Rookies, 102 East Clay Street in the Old Herald Complex. Open Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Rippin' Rookies, Collinsville sports card and memorabilia destination. Want to catch some of the best live music in Collinsville from a band of all Collinsville area residents? Look no further than Sonically Pleasing. Sonically Pleasing with former Kahok Logan Carlisle, his dad Tim, along with Caleb Tanzius, play some of the best rock and roll hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. You can catch Sonically Pleasing at some of the area's finest venues, as well as book Sonically Pleasing for your private event or party. To put some music in your life, it's Sonically Pleasing. Check out Sonically Pleasing's Facebook page for upcoming live show dates and to book them for your special event, or to call to book that event at 618-401-0052. Pleasing live rock music for your ears. Sonically Pleasing, 618-401-0052. Is it finally time to start doing what you've been talking about doing for years? Start making those plans right now and let Northwestern Mutual help you plan your future. Former Kahok Joe Philpott can help you get started with that plan today. Joel Philpott, a financial advisor with Northwestern Mutual, can help build a plan specifically for you with a wide range of financial options and the flexibility to change that plan as your priorities change. To get started on your future, give Joel Philpott a call today at Northwestern Mutual's Fairview Heights office at 618-606-2022. Spend your life living with Northwestern Mutual. Call Joel Philpott today, 618-606-2022. Caseyville VFW Post 1117 Auxiliary supports the VFW with post projects and fundraiser events. The Caseyville VFW Auxiliary also provides donations and sponsorship for Veterans in Need, Jefferson Barracks in St. Louis, the Caseyville Food Pantry, outreach programs, summer lunches for students in the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and now the Kahok Sports Network. Plus, sponsoring CHS programs like band, theater, and sports. If you would like to provide support or join the Caseyville VFW Auxiliary, contact the Caseyville VFW Post 1117 at 618-344-9878. Looking for something to get your high school student involved in? Maybe joining the Collinsville Kahok Trap Team is that something. Created in 2017, the Collinsville Kahok Trap Team has joined a long line of area schools in one of the fastest growing and safest sports in the country. Trap shooting is a fun, team-oriented outdoor sport that offers friendship, competition, and teamwork, all in a safe and fun environment that encourages students to be part of a team in which they will learn valuable skills and are encouraged to engage in community involvement through volunteering and mentoring. If Collinsville Trap sounds like something your student would be interested in, call Collinsville Trap at 618-795-9893 or visit Collinsville Kahok Trap on Facebook.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an InvisiRed lipolaser machine. The InvisiRed machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The InvisiRed technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that InvisiRed offers.
And we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. It finally stopped raining. And after a lightning delay, we're ready to go with some Lady Kahok soccer as they take on the Lady Midgets of Freeburg High School. We are almost done with our senior interviews. We are up to number 9, senior Ella Borm. Defense for your Lady Kahoks, her 3rd year on the varsity team. All right, Ella, thanks for joining us. Let's learn a little bit about your family. I know both mom and dad, and I know your brother played here. He graduated last year. But from you, tell me about mom, dad, brother, and any pets you have.
My mom is Erin Borm. I don't know. My dad is Brett Borm. He's the police chief of Collinsville. And then I have my brother, Braden. He's currently going to Mizzou majoring in finance or something like that. And then I have 2 dogs, Lucy and Maggie.
Lucy and Maggie are what kind of dogs?
Lucy is a teacup Maltipoo, and then Maggie is a toy Havapoo, something like that.
So they're both poos?
Yeah, poodles.
Poos, okay, I got you. All right, Dad, you mentioned he's police chief. Not only that, back-to-back state championships for the 91-92 Collinsville Kahok soccer team in goal. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's where your soccer came from, was from your dad. That's how you got into it. How old were you when you started playing soccer?
Like 3 or 4, I think, so.
All right, well, those are some lofty expectations you got to live up to there. All right, so tell me a little bit about playing for the Kahawks. What's your favorite thing about playing for the Lady Kahawks soccer team?
I think it's probably the energy on the field that we have. I feel like we have like a really good bond with our team. Like we all know each other, we all hang out. So, I don't know, we're just very comfortable with each other.
That's always nice to have. All right, let's learn a little bit more about you. The favorite things category, everybody's favorite category. What is your favorite sweet snack?
Probably Sour Patch Kids.
So that's a pretty good pick. Favorite salty snack?
Honey nut or honey mustard Pringles.
I was going to say Honey Nut Cheerios isn't sweet, so yeah, I'm glad you changed that up there. All right, meal, favorite, breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Lunch.
Okay, what would be for lunch, and who does the cooking of that lunch?
Probably me. I cook a lot. Any sort of pasta. I'm really good at cooking pasta.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can mess up pasta, so it's not like a giggle thing. I've messed it up before too. All right, so when it comes time to go out to eat, do you have a favorite restaurant?
Any Mexican. I really like Mexican food.
Yeah, the one over there is not too bad. Music genre. What is your favorite kind of music?
Oh gosh. Country.
Got a favorite group or artist in that country genre?
Either Noah Kahn or Zach Bryan.
I get Zach Bryan a lot. School stuff. What is your least favorite class in high school?
Oh gosh. English, maybe?
I was like, we're going to say, oh, I like all of them. What is your favorite class in high school?
Math. I like my teacher. So, like, if I understand the math, I love math, but if I don't, I hate it. So it's just iffy.
And we're not talking like practical math. We're talking hard math.
Kind of. I mean, I'm in discrete math and elementary stats, so it's just like, it's easy, but I don't know.
I don't even know what discrete math is. All right, sports. I know you play golf too, and you play soccer. Is there a sport out there that you would be like, man, I would really love to learn how to play that, and if I was really good at it, I could probably do really well?
I think I kind of regret not playing volleyball. I grew up doing the camps at Collinsville High School, but I don't know. My mom tried to get me to do it in middle school, and I never did.
All right, so we know your future holds after you graduate later this month. Actually, it's May 1st now. You are going to SWIC on a golf scholarship, and the funny thing is you didn't start golfing like team-wise until you got to be a sophomore in high school. Talk to me about that. Explain how all that happened.
Well, so basically, it all started. We were mid-soccer season, and Laney Blandis and Kira Van Dyke, they're like, oh, come try out for golf. And I was like joking. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then my other friends decided they were going to do it too, so then I just showed up, and that's just how it all started.
And look at you now. You got a free ride to college and go play some golf.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right, Centralia last night. Tell me a little bit about that game. You guys won 4-0. That's a nice feeling to get a win.
Well, I couldn't play because I was injured. So, yeah, we played good. We passed the ball around a lot. The turf was horrible. They didn't have, like, turf beads, so everyone was slipping. So it was kind of funny to watch them all fall.
All right, you guys got Freeburg tonight. I know this is not a very historic rivalry, so to speak, here. You guys have only played them twice since Collinsville had girls soccer in 1984. 0-0 2 years ago. Here, you lost at their place last year 2-0. So tell me what you learned from those two matches that you can possibly use here tonight.
I don't remember any of those games. I have no idea.
All right, shout-out time for you. Anybody out there you want to say hi to?
Just family, grandparents, parents, my brother. That's it.
Ella Borm, thank you very much for the visit. Good luck to you in your future.
Thank you.
That is number 9 in your program, Ella Barm, senior defenseman. We'll take a break here on the Chiropractic Works pregame show. When we come back, we'll throw the starters your way, and we'll check out some stats. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisared lipolaser machine. The Invisared machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisared technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we'd be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisared offers.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Jason Regg, your Benjamin F. Edwards financial advisor, understands this. That's why Jason Regg is a proud supporter of your Collinsville Kahawks and the Kahok Sports Network, as well as the Kahok Educator of the Month Award. For all of your investment needs, see financial advisor and investment vice president Jason Regg at the Benjamin F. Edwards office in Collinsville, located at 1008 Vandalia Street, or call Jason Regg at 618-223-5215 or visit benjaminfedwards.com. Benjamin F. Edwards, member SIPC. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 1966 Vandalia, Collinsville Barbecue Supply is your one-of-a-kind barbecue headquarters that focuses on everything barbecue and cooking, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, in-person class instruction, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts, including an in-house chef and pitmaster. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning sauces and rubs that supports our nation's first responder and military organizations that focus on the fallen, suicide prevention, and PTSD awareness. Stop on by, see the guys at Collinsville Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of the 4-time world champion Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at collinsvillebarbecue.com or call 618-855-8855.
We love to have you come work for the city of Collinsville. We have many positions available, from seasonal jobs to full-time opportunities in many of our departments. From police and fire to Gateway Center, Parks and Recreation, and City Hall. Our employees enjoy great benefits like comprehensive medical plans, paid time off, tuition reimbursement, and more. Visit the city's website, collinsvilleil.org, to apply and learn more about working for the city of Collinsville.
All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent service staff. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. And of course, All Pro Tees is your destination for everything Collinsville Kahawks. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville at 2240 South Morrison Avenue. Online at allprotees.com. Right across the street from Kahok Stadium. All Pro Tees, 618-344-2200. Celebrate the life of your loved one should be as special as the person they represent. That's why you will always find the staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville ready to go the extra mile to meet the needs of you and your family during those times. For over 100 years, Her Funeral Home has been there for Collinsville and the surrounding communities. Of the many arrangements made after losing a loved one, the first is the selection of a funeral home. The staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville can help with that planning. Call Her Funeral Home in Collinsville at 618-344-0187. Her Funeral Home, serving Collinsville families for over 100 years. 618-344-0187. Looking for a new place to catch the game with cold drinks and great food? Look no further than 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville. 1101 Bar and Grill features pizza, burgers, wraps, and salads, plus 7 large screen TVs to catch the latest Kahawk games and all the pro sports across the spectrum, plus all the college football and basketball you can handle. 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville, 1101 Caseyville Road, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Call 1101 Bar and Grill for carryout orders at 618-223-1332. Got questions about Medicare? If you're approaching the age of 65, the answer to that question is a resounding yes. Bill Holton is a former Collinsville Raider and Kahawk football player and is now an independent broker with Senior Health Plans, and he can answer all of those tough questions when it comes to Medicare. Which plan, which part, what's covered, and what's not. If you're approaching the age of Medicare and need those questions answered, let Bill Holton get you those answers. Bill Holton with Senior Health Plans. Call him today at 618-978-2306 or email Bill Holton at william.holton@yahoo.com. VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville is one of the area's longest-running VFW posts. VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville is your place to meet and join other area veterans. Plus, VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville offers all kinds of activities to help our veterans, as well as engaging the public with fun, food, fellowship, and a great time for great causes. blood drives, fundraisers, raffles, and a Queen of Hearts drawing every Wednesday night. Plus, VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville has event space for your parties, celebrations, and other get-togethers. For more information, check out the VFW Post 1117's Facebook page or call the Caseyville VFW at 618-344-9878. And once again, we welcome you back here to Kahok Stadium on the campus of Collinsville High School. Turned into a beautiful evening. We have had rain for days around here, and we had some more showers earlier and right before the game. One of those showers moved through right before the JV game, and a lightning strike set off the old lightning detector, and we had a little bit of a delay, so we got started almost about 40 minutes later with the JV game than we normally would. It's due to start at 5 o'clock. We got started at about 5:37 or somewhere around there. And the JV game ended up in a 1-1 tie. Freshman Reese Kaufman scored with about 16 minutes left to go in the second half. And then 2 minutes later, Freeburg scored to tie it up 1-1. And it stayed that way through the buzzer and ended in a 1-1 tie. Here are your starters. We'll begin with Freeburg. In goal, you will find Maura Loge. And in front of young Miss Loge, you will find Maggie Mizell, Nora Smith, Grace Burke, Michaela Fonte, Jory Mannion, Zoe Edmiston, Maya Sanders, Bryn Bowen, Michaela Stover, and Madeline Finder. In goal for Collinsville tonight is the sophomore, Paige Bonemeyer. In front of Paige, you will find the Smith twins, Ava and Ella, both seniors. Rylan Judasek, the sophomore midfielder. Peyton DeHadway, who had 2 goals last night at Centralia. A freshman forward, Ashley Giannini, on the defense. She's a junior. So is Addie Munoz and Carly Call. They all join her on defense as well. Liliana Lira at midfield. Elena Serna, a forward. And Carly Van Dyke is the last person on the list of our starters. And she is a junior midfielder when she's not playing goal. We are underway. Let's take a look at some of the stats that we have for you. We'll begin in goal. Maura Loge. She has played 1,135 minutes on the year. She is 5-8-1 on the season. 3 shutouts to her credit. Goals against average of 1.48 and a save percentage at .825 for Paige Bonemeyer. She is a 2-5 record on the year. She's given up 11 goals for a 2.60 goals against average, and her save percentage is right around 87%. Leading goal scorer for Freeburg. That's a shared responsibility. They won 7-2 last night at Carbondale. Those stats never got entered, at least while I was doing all my prep work. They weren't entered, so that could have changed. Zoe Edmiston, Madeline Finder, and Nora Smith all came into this contest with 6 goals, not knowing who scored some of those 7 goals last night. For Collinsville, leader in the goal department is Peyton DeHadway. She came into last night's contest with 2 goals. She scored 2 last night, so she now leads the team with 4. And then Carly Call had another goal last night as well, so she's up to 3, and that would tie her for second place along with Morgan Lang, all with 3. We're underway, and Collinsville and Freeburg going at it. This is only the 3rd time that these two soccer programs have ever met. Collinsville got their soccer program started in 1984. Freeburg actually started theirs in 1979, but in all that time, there have been no matches up until a couple of years ago. 0-0 tie 2 years ago here, and then last year Collinsville lost 2-0 at Freeburg. In goal for Collinsville in that 0-0 game was both players that are on the field right now. Carly Van Dyke was in goal as a freshman in that game and stopped all 6 shots that Freeburg put against her. And Maura Loge, she was in her sophomore season that year. She started in goal and allowed no goals on Collinsville's 7 shots on goal. So how about that for a little kind of a twist and fate kind of thing. So only the 3rd meeting ever. We're underway. And that is Loge right there, wearing the number 1 on her back. She's dressed in black in goal to your right. Collinsville attacking that goal right now. And here is Ava Smith. Smith gets it over to Judasek. Judasek trying to turn the corner. She's being blocked out over there by Burke. Burke actually gets a hold of the ball and sends it across the sideline, and it'll be a throw-in over there for Collinsville that Judasek will go ahead and handle just outside of the 18-yard box. She throws it in the box, just outside the box still, she finds DeHadway, and then it bangs around a couple of times, comes in front, and they were looking for Serna, who was right in the middle, but it never did make it to her, and now the ball comes down back to the midfielders, and they'll tick it on back to the defense from Carly Call. Back over now for Lyra. Lyra will send the ball back to Munoz. Addie, she'll bring the ball up and bank it right off the back of one of the Freeburg players, and then head over to the far sideline. She'll join the rush. Almost got tripped up there. Stays on it. Nice move by Munoz. Into the box she goes, and then a cross that was picked up by the goalkeeper, Luge, right before Serna could get to it. Had the bodies all in the right places, but just couldn't connect on the pass. And it'll be a goal kick restart that makes it all the way back out to midfield for Freeburg. Collinsville takes control of it once again. Here's Carly Call. Call will send the ball on up to Lyra. Lyra, she'll be our next pregame and our last pregame senior interview. And that won't happen until the playoffs, so this is my last regular season game for girls soccer. We got some baseball and some softball to make up, man. We've been missing a lot of games this year due to all that wet weather in the month of April. The wettest April on record, broke the old record set way back in 1893. So we've had a lot of rain in April. And May started off with a little bit, but I think after tomorrow we're going to be in for a bit of a dry spell as we're a little tangled up down below as Serna and Stover kind of got tangled up. Whistle stop play. Ashley Giannini's going to have a free kick from about 50 yards away, right below our location here, as we have already expired the first 5 minutes of this contest. Here is Giannini. It'll make it up to the front edge of the 18-yard box, but that's about it. Collinsville comes away with it. Back to the defense it goes to Ella Smith, and tried to feed her sister Ava up there, but that ball had a little bit too much juice on it and ends up going out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in over there for Freeburg. Freeburg got some nasty weather yesterday. There was a thunderstorm or a tornado warning right outside of Freeburg yesterday afternoon. That traveled all the way up through Trenton. I don't think they said it ever made it on the ground, but it was kind of scary there for a little while. We've had our fair share of some storms around these areas the last few days, that's for sure. Ball comes all the way up, finds Ava Smith. Ava right in front of her bench, trying to work the ball up. She gets it across the midfield stripe, tries to spring Collinsville over there, but just couldn't quite connect, and now back out to midfield. Here is Lyra. Lyra sends the ball up. That's rejected by Freeburg, and back to the defense it goes to Addie Munoz. Munoz, she'll send the ball on up to Ella Smith. Back over into the midfield circle it goes to Judasek. Judasek sends it over here to the near sideline, picked up there by Serna. Serna trying to get herself around Finder, couldn't quite do it. And then the defense for Freeburg will send the ball packing to the other side of the field. Giannini's going to get there and chase it down first, and she'll tap it back over to Bonemeyer, and Bonemeyer will pop the ball up. Didn't get very far, pretty much where Giannini kicked the ball to her. That's where it landed back to. So a little bit of a misstep there by Collinsville, and now back off of the backside of Stover. Takes a Freeburg bounce, and trying to battle for the ball is Giannini, but that ball ends up going across the end line, and we're going to have a goal kick restart coming up here for Paige Bonemeyer. Got hurt earlier this year at Belleville West in the game we did for you. She was out for a while. Just came back, I think, last week. And now Bonemeyer ready to send us back to work. 33 minutes left to play here in this first half. A little bit of a late one here because of the lightning delay. I got here and I'm like, is there no JV game today? There wasn't anyone on the field, and then I brought my equipment up and was told that it was a lightning delay, so we had to wait it out and got started about 40 minutes late. Another goal kick restart coming up here for Bonemeyer. She takes her time with this one and now sends it out. Munoz used her foot to kind of tick it back to the midfielders, and then Freeburg kind of spent it back over from there, but now it takes a Collinsville bounce off of a head, and using her head is Ava Smith. Smith got it past the defenseman, but there was one more waiting back there for her, and then back over to the midfield circle it goes for Freeburg, and they'll send it back over onto this side now for Mizell. Mizell moves the ball forward and gets it onto the foot of Finder. Finder loses control of it. It goes to Giannini. Giannini tried to get it to Judasek, went past her and finds Ava Smith. Ava brings it up across the logo at midfield. On to the foot of DeHadway. DeHadway getting some pressure from behind. We'll just leave it there for Call. Call sends the ball up for Van Dyke. Van Dyke trying to feed it to Serna, but left that one just a little bit too far, and that allowed Mannion to step in front, and now the ball is caught over in the corner, and the referee holds his flag up. I never did see that ball cross the line, but he's going to say it went out of bounds, and it's going to belong to Freeburg. A couple of times now I've almost caught myself saying Freeburg Waterloo because that's the name of their hockey team. Freeburg Waterloo, the Raging Bulldogs. So a free kick from there, and it comes up the line. Serna almost got a foot on it, but Freeburg Waterloo finds it. Collinsville then finds it again, sends it back up to the front of the 18-yard box. That ball is going to get kicked out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in coming up here for Carly Call right at midfield. Almost 10 minutes gone here in this first half. No shots on goal yet by either team. Collinsville's had some pretty good pressure, but couldn't get a shot on goal. Here is Smith, feeds it on up, and just a little bit too far for DeHadway to get a hold of before Logier comes out and takes care of a scoop. So back out toward midfield, and then Giannini will just touch it on back to Bonemeyer. This time she'll skip one up on a line drive. Didn't get very far as well. And then a spinner of a ball will go ahead and go up across the line. It'll be another goal kick restart coming up here for Paige Bonemeyer as soon as someone throws a ball into her. They're going to call that a corner kick, aren't they? So Freeburg's going to get a corner kick out of this one. First one of the game comes from the far side corner. And it is on the way. Going to be a little short of getting across, but now it rolls. And then popped up way over the net, over the far side post as well. And now Bonemeyer will have a goal kick restart. Bonemeyer ready to send us back to action. She does so. Not much of a wind out here today. The wind has already moved through. We had some storms rolling through about 3 o'clock, 3:30. And they stuck around for just a little bit too long, and that's why we had a little bit of a delay. Here comes Collinsville. Van Dyke cuts it across the midfield logo. Still heading toward the far sideline. Had that one knocked away, though, by Sanders. And now Freeburg Waterloo will send another one all the way back, but Bonemeyer's there to pick it up right in front of the 18-yard box. Seedings came out today. Collinsville got the number 6 seed. Schedules for the 3A playoffs will be posted tomorrow. Here's a chance for Freeburg, but Bonemeyer comes out and scoops that one up just as Nora Smith was trying to track it down to get a shot on goal, so a nice job there by Bonemeyer because she didn't really have anyone around her, and she could have been one-on-one with Paige. We've had our fair share of wind this month as well, so it's nice to see the rain disappear. It's nice to see the wind take a break. Of course, we won't be saying that come July and August when we're like, where's all that wind? That one ends up going out of bounds off of the shin, of Serna. So a throw in for Freeburg. They'll send it on up. Try to get a little offense going here. Here is Mizell. Mizell just outside the box will send it right up the middle. Collinsville will block it out. That is Munoz. Munoz will send the ball back up to Serna, but she couldn't find the handle on it and ends up going out of bounds, and it's going to belong to Collinsville. Kahawks will have a throw in. But first, we're going to have our first substitution of this game as Layla Wilkerson will check into the game. Wilkerson had a goal in the JV 4-0 win last night at Centralia. Reese Kaufman had the only goal in the JV game here earlier. She's also on the varsity roster. I would not be surprised to see her in here a little bit later. Throw in will be handled by Mannion. Mannion throws it into the corner of the 18-yard box and sent out by Collinsville. Now a little bit of a battle for it. Judasek got a foot on it but couldn't hold it. Ends up coming back over to Finder. And now Carly Call will send the ball up the line but out of bounds, so it'll be another throw-in coming up here for Freeburg. And again, it's going to be handled by Jory Mannion. Mannion throws it in but missed her target. Judasek got to it instead. And then Collinsville will send the ball back out toward midfield. Takes a bounce off of one of the Lady Kahawks and back to the defense it goes. Carly Call off of the backside of Finder. Then it comes over to Judasek. Ryland will send it on over for Munoz. Addie, she'll send it up the far sideline and taken there by Wilkerson. Off of her, comes to midfield now, and that is where Van Dyke is. She sends the ball up. Collinsville over onto the far side. Here is Wilkerson. Wilkerson looking to get around the defense with some speed, but she put a little bit too much on that ball. She was trying to pass it to herself, and Loge comes out to her right to slide down and stop that ball from getting any farther. Loge sends the ball back out to midfield. Pops straight up into the air in the circle. Comes down, and Freeburg will get a hold of it and send it up. Finder does so. Nora Smith trying to track it down on the far side. Ella Smith over there trying to keep her from doing that. Hits off of the corner flag, and it's going to be out of bounds. Collinsville will have a throw-in. Kahawks getting ready to make 3 more substitutions here in the early goings of this game. Freeburg has yet to make a substitution. Collinsville doesn't play again until 1 week from tonight at Alton. Everwright and our pregame guest, Ella Borm, check into the game. As Ella Smith throws it to sister Ava, and then Ella gets it right back and sends it back out to the midfielders area. Here is Mannion. Mannion will send one into the 18-yard box, but that's past everyone, and it's going to turn into another goal kick restart coming up here for Bonemeyer. Giannini's going to go ahead and take this one. Paige having a little trouble getting some air underneath the few that she's had, so Giannini will send the ball up just a little bit farther. Takes a Collinsville bounce, but Mannion will send it back to where it came from. And then off of the head of Call, Judasek uses the body to settle it down, and then Call will send it up to midfield. And over on the sideline, it'll roll out of bounds. Collinsville will have a throw-in. They'll waste no time. Serna throws the ball in, trying to find Smith. Comes back over to Serna. Serna sends it into the middle for Borm. Ella sends the ball back up now for Ava Smith. Ava will send it back over here to the sideline. Serna, she's got a beat on it, and then splits the defense with a little tip pass. But that one found Freeburg afterwards, and now Borm with it. Back toward midfield. She'll tap it on back over to Call. Carly sends the ball up. That's off of the leg of Sanders. Then pops back over the other way, and Collinsville trying to settle it down. Here is Wilkerson. Wilkerson trying to get around Burke. Couldn't do so. And then the Lady Midgets will send the ball back up. Edmiston back over to the defense. Defense sends the ball sailing past everybody, and Bonemeyer is going to go pick it up over on the far side of the 18-yard box. 23.5 to go here in this first half. No score yet. No shot on goal by either team. Freeburg has had the only corner kick. That one's popped straight up into the air. Got a little bit more distance on it, did Bonemeyer, and takes a nice Collinsville bounce. Then Mannion will send the ball back upfield, and here is Carly Call. Rolls down her back, and she's going to block everything out and let it go, and we're going to have a Collinsville throw-in. Carly Call, the junior, throws it on down, trying to find Everwright, it looked like, but couldn't find her. Here is Wilkerson, though. She springs free. She's got Smith over on her right, but couldn't get it to her. She was taken out of the play. Freeburg comes back with the ball, and at midfield, Borm will send it back to Munoz. Munoz sends the ball back up to Wilkerson, but that kind of hit hard off of her stomach area and took a big 10-yard bounce afterwards. Here is Munoz. Addie with her head up, looking for someone to pass it to. She finds Wilkerson. Wilkerson will send the ball up, but sent it behind Everwright, who is waiting for the pass. Now Borm gets a hold of the ball, sends it up to Serna. Serna gets squeezed on the play by 2 defenders, and a whistle will give Collinsville a free kick from about 30 yards out. Judasek will take this. Giannini. She's playing up on the play now. Morellen Judasek sends one right off the player right in front. Comes right back to Ryland, though. She'll do a crossing pass trying to spring Giannini free, but that ball is off of a body, and it's going to belong to Collinsville, and a throw-in this time from Judasek. Just outside of the 18-yard box. She's trying to direct some traffic and finds Ava Smith, but Smith will have that ball bounce off her body straight out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in. Well, I guess it went off one of the Freeburg players, so this time she'll send it up the line here to Carly Call. Call right into the middle, but that ball went the wrong direction. Freeburg sends the ball back out to midfield area. Munoz will send it right back up toward the front of the 18-yard box, takes a weird bounce, and Mannion will find it, and then Call will get it right back over to Serna. Serna uses the knees and the legs and the feet and keeps that ball alive. Over to Judasek. Judasek going backwards with the ball. We'll send it over to Giannini, and Giannini sends it up to Smith. Smith gets taken off the ball, and then back to the defense. Hits the referee, and he'll blow the whistle and give the ball to Freeburg. Collinsville was heading that way with the ball. Now back to the defense it goes, and that would be Ella Smith. Sends the ball on up. Collinsville trying to track it down for a little offensive push here. Back over to midfield to Borm. Borm sends it over to Wilkerson. Wilkerson will feed the ball up to Everwright, but overfed it. And then Freeburg will just kick it out of bounds right past their bench. And now Freeburg. Reese Kaufman comes in for Collinsville. Freeburg will make their first substitution. And they'll bring in Allie Lubinkoff. Lubinkoff, a junior. As that ball heads over to the far sideline, Wilkerson trying to track it down, does so. Sends it over to Smith. Into the middle, trying to find Judasek, but Call gets there first. Over to Bourne, and then Smith will send it back up to Wilkerson. Wilkerson gets taken off the play again, but here is Everwright. Everwright was trying to feed Kaufman as she was coming up the middle, and then Ella Bourne will pinch in, trying to help out the offense a little bit, but she got taken off the ball too. And now Munoz kind of stepped on the ball and almost fell down doing so, and now the ball is going to get past Giannini, but Ashley's got enough speed. She'll go track it down, and she'll send it back up the sideline right by her own bench until that ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in over on the far sideline for Freeburg. And once again, it'll be Jory Mannion who will do these out. She was throwing the ball in over on this side. Now she's on the far side. Mannion in front. Munoz sends it right back to her over on the far sideline. Here is Wilkerson again. Wilkerson sends the ball up, looking for a little bit of help. And doing a little bit of a zigzag as well. Gets past the legs of Sanders, and then Sanders kind of took her out of the play. Comes back over to Munoz, and Munoz will tap it back over to Bonemeyer, and Bonemeyer will send the ball back out to midfield. Off of the back of Everwright. Comes down for Ava Smith. Over here to this near sideline, just below the booth here. Comes back out for Bowen. Bowen trying to send it up to one of her teammates. Instead, Collinsville intercepts it, and Ella Borm will send the ball bouncing all the way down. It's going to take a while to get into the box, but it finally does, and Loge will pick it up and send us back to work here as we have just a little under 18 minutes left to go here in this first half. No score between Collinsville and Freeburg. Of course, non-conference game, so don't have to worry about any overtime in case we get there. Here is Munoz. Excuse me. Munoz up to Wilkerson, and Wilkerson sends it back over to Addy. Addy sends the ball into the Collinsville offensive zone off of one of the Freeburg players, back out to midfield, and a little bit of a miss hit there by Everwright will send Freeburg back to action on the offensive side of things. Here is Mizell. Mizell will take a shot toward the goal, blocked out there by Giannini. Giannini will send the ball back up to midfield. Everwright trying to get there. She finally does. Sends it over to Smith. Smith trying to feed Wilkerson. Wilkerson gets the ball inside the circle, but it bounced off of her foot so hard that it came to Bowen. And then Collinsville goes back to work trying to keep the ball in. Here is Kaufman. Kaufman gets it up to Smith. Smith off of her body and continues to move forward. And then she runs into a little resistance, and it's going to be Freeburg's ball, much to the chagrin of Kaufman. Ball gets taken in by Mizell. Now over this way for Lubinkoff. Wilkerson almost got there for a minute. Now here is Borm. Borm sends the ball back over to Munoz. Munoz sends it down to the offensive zone, but stepping right in front of Wilkerson was Fonte. And then that ball goes in between the benches. Collinsville wants another couple of substitutions. They will do so as back into the game is Liliana Lira and Duhadway. Duhadway gets the ball right off the bat. Back over to the Freeburg defense we go. Defense sending it up, trying to spring the offense, but that gets past everyone, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to belong to Collinsville. And Carly Call will get the throw-in responsibilities here. Carly up the line. Judasek trying to wrestle the ball away. Can't do so. Comes back over to Lubinkoff. Lubinkoff couldn't hold it in. Collinsville will have another throw-in. And here is Kaufman. Throws it into Duhadway. She was left wide open, so why not? Duhadway trying to settle the ball down. Then she ends up stepping on the ball. And now here is Mizell once again. She got knocked off of that ball by Giannini. Giannini sends the ball up to Duhadway. Duhadway gets out of a hold. Has a little bit of speed, being chased down by Bowen. And the ball off of Bowen's arm, and Collinsville is going to get a free kick from right outside the 18-yard box. 15 minutes left to go here in this first half. Kahawks looking for their first shot on goal, and this might be it right here. Rylan Judasek, the sophomore, is going to take this one. It's going to be from about 25 yards away, about 5 yards outside of the front edge of that 18-yard box. A three-person wall by Freeburg in front of her. And Judasek sends the ball up, and then it's pushed over the net by Eloge. Collinsville gets their first shot on goal, and it'll result in their first corner kick. And Judasek will take that from over on the far side as Collinsville makes another couple of substitutions here. Looks like Serna and Van Dyke come back in. Judasek ready to go with the corner kick. It is on the way, and it swings right in front and down and blocked out of there at the last second. I couldn't tell if the defenseman stopped that one or if Loge did herself. But Collinsville, that was a nice job on the corner kick and almost paid dividends there for Collinsville. Just under 14 to go here in this first half. Now Freeburg looking for a little offensive push. They'll send the ball up, and Addie Munoz will send it back over to Bonemeyer. Bonemeyer will send it back to midfield, but Freeburg is the first one to touch it, and they continue their forward progress here. Over on the far side sideline, there's a cross, and that one goes outside. Saved there by Bonemeyer, and back out front will go. Collinsville gets a hold of it. Well, they'll send it back out, and it's stopped there by Lubinkoff. Lubinkoff loses control of the ball. Here is Kaufman. Kaufman up the sideline trying to spring to Hadway, but instead that one banks off of the leg of Bowen, and it'll be another throw-in coming up here for Carly Call. Call throws the ball down forward to Hadway. Back over to Carly. Back to Peyton. Peyton couldn't locate the ball, and then unable to keep it in was Mizell. So another throw-in comes from Call, and that one almost finds Van Dyke. Judasek sends the ball back up. Defense trying to get there. Kaufman beats one, and that ball ends up going out of bounds. Collinsville is going to have a throw-in from just outside of the 18-yard box once again. Kaufman will handle this one. Throws it into the 18-yard box forward to Hadway, and it's sent right back to where it came from. Sun sets later and later. I like it. Here is Van Dyke trying to give it back over to Kaufman, but that's banged up a little bit, and then it gets knocked out of bounds by Kaufman, so a throw-in coming up here for Lubinkoff. 12 minutes to play here in this first half. Lubinkoff gets the ball into Finder. Finder back over to Lubinkoff and then back over to Finder. Problem was that she was standing out of bounds, so had the right idea of passing it to her, but she was already standing out of bounds, so Collinsville will get the throw in. Here is Kaufman. Kaufman just outside the box, crosses one in, and then that's sent back out by the Freeburg defense. Finding the ball is Nora Smith. Smith over onto the far side sideline. That ball will end up going out of bounds. It'll put there by Collinsville, and it'll be a throw in coming up here once again for Jory Mannion. Mannion up to midfield. Judasek off of her head comes down. Collinsville had control for a second, but that moment has passed, and then a loose ball picked up by the Kahawks. Here is Van Dyke. Van Dyke sends it up into the middle for Lyra, but Lyra tried to send it up to one of her teammates, banked off of one of the Freeburg players, and now Kaufman sends the ball up to Van Dyke. Van Dyke trying to work herself around a couple of defensive players, couldn't do so, gets the ball back though, and will send the ball over to Lyra. Lyra trying to send it up front for DeHadway, but that pass never reached Peyton and ends up going out of bounds by Freeburg, and a throw in from the far side by Ella Smith. As Ava comes back into the game, as does Grace Burke for Freeburg.
Substitution number 2, Ava Smith. Freeburg substitution number 15, Grace Burke.
Off of the head of one of the Kahawk players over there. I believe that was Serna. And then it comes down. And Munoz will just go ahead and tap it back to Bonemeyer. Bonemeyer will put a foot into it and send it sky high all the way back out to midfield. Takes a Collinsville bounce right back to one of the Kahawk players and then back over to Carly Call. Carly sends the ball up to Judasek. Judasek sends it back to Munoz. Munoz will send it up trying to find Van Dyke. She does. Van Dyke got a player over on the far side sideline trying to chase it down is Serna, but she get there in time? Yes, she did. Did not go out of bounds. Serna just outside the 18-yard box. Sends one spinning up along the end line, and Luge just bends down and scoops it up before any further problems arise. We're down to single digits as far as the time is concerned. 9.5 minutes to go here in this first. That was a nice job by Giannini, and then Smith wants to track it down, but she overran the ball. Back out to the near side sideline we go for Mizell. Mizell trying to tap the ball up, but instead of finding her teammate, she found Carly Call. Call over to Lyra. Lyra to Judasek. Judasek to Munoz. Addy zigzags through a little bit of traffic and then sends the ball up, and we're going to have a foul called as Munoz got dumped on the play by Mannion, and we're going to have a free kick from about 40 yards away for Collinsville. This is Ashley Giannini territory. Giannini's ready to go. And Ashley sends one in front and a one bouncer right to Luge, but she was past the far side post, so not on goal. 8.5 minutes to go here in this first half. Popped up right at the midfield logo, and then Call will get a hold of it and send it up to Lyra. Lyra over to the far side for Smith. That would be Ella. Ella sends the ball up and finds Van Dyke. Van Dyke over onto the far side now for Serna. Serna taps the ball up, and then Van Dyke's got a beat on it, but she's not going to be able to outrun the defense, I don't think. And then right outside of the 18-yard box, we're going to have a whistle. And we are going to have a corner kick coming up here for Collinsville. This will be the second one for the Lady Kahawks. Judasek once again will do the honors over on the far side corner. 7:45 to play here in this first half. No score between Collinsville and Freeburg. What's going on now? They decided to change their mind and turn that into a goal kick restart instead of a corner kick. So take away the corner kick for Collinsville. Ella Bourne will check back into the game. She'll take the place of Lyra as we await Loge and her goal kick restart here. And it's a line drive that stays low. Freeburg gets there first. Collinsville had a chance to stop that from happening, but instead Freeburg will send it back up to midfield. That's where they are right now. Here is Mannion. Mannion sends it over to the far sideline. Right underneath the Collinsville bench. Kahoks waste no time throwing that one back in. Now we're going to have a whistle on the far side. We're going to have a free kick from midfield over on the far side sideline. Giannini will take this one as well. Ashley waiting for everyone to get in their place. She's actually over onto the track surface, and then we'll pop this one up. Got some nice distance on it, though. Freeburg got a head on it first. Judasek will send it up, and Loge will come out and scoop it up before anyone can get a shot on goal. We approach 6 minutes left to play here in this first half. Don't forget we have the Woods Basement Systems halftime show coming up for you at halftime. Got some scores we can tell you about in the world of softball. Probably volleyball here soon. Yep. Volleyball already over. They went to Edwardsville today. Lady Kahok soccer team, or excuse me, softball team went to Belleville West. Baseball team had the day off. They were due to play East St. Louis today, but they played that doubleheader the other day instead. Probably a wise idea. I mean, not that it's not a nice day to play baseball, but with all the rain we've had in the area, I guess they figured, why not? Let's get 2 in while we can. That ball goes into the bench just underneath the big old Gatorade bucket over there. Cardinals were in action today as well. Blues off after losing last night in Winnipeg, 5-3. So St. Louis Blues have to win tomorrow night at the Enterprise Center, or else their season is over. It's going to be busy in downtown St. Louis. There is a Cardinals game, a Blues game, and a Battlehawks game all scheduled to start at 7 o'clock tomorrow in downtown St. Louis. Goal kick restart coming up here for Collinsville, but it's going to be handled by Giannini. Ashley sends a line drive screaming up over on the far side, and then Freeburg gets there first, and that ball heading over toward the sideline, and it stayed in, but it ends up going over the end line, and we're going to have another goal kick restart here by Giannini. Four minutes to play here in this first half. That comes down. Everwright couldn't find the handle on it. Collinsville will then pop the ball up right in between the benches, and it's going to go out of bounds over there. And it's going to belong to Freeburg. They'll throw it in quickly, and that gets right past whoever the intended target was. Didn't really hit anyone until it came down to the ground and picked up over there by Serna, excuse me. Serna sends the ball up, but Freeburg intercepts. They send the ball over this way for Mizell. Mizell punches it over the head of Collinsville's defense, and a couple of bounces later, Bonemeyer will pick it up and take charge. Page pops one up to midfield. Comes down on the logo. Lady Midgets push it up front. Collinsville stops that. Nice play by Munoz. She'll send a screamer up that far sideline, but intercepted there by Freeburg. They try to move the ball forward on the attack, but a loose ball picked up by Munoz. She then sends it up, and trying to get there was her teammate, but just couldn't quite close the gap quick enough, and Collinsville is going to have a throw-in from the far side. Ella Smith will take care of this one at the end of her bench. That one off of the head of Edmiston. Edmiston gets it back, sends it out to the midfield logo. Collinsville tracks it down first. Here is Wilkerson. Wilkerson puts on a nice move to get around Edmiston, and then the ball is sent up over on the far side sideline. Collinsville trying to work some magic here, but that ball ends up getting away from Serna, and then Serna uses a hip check and will take out one of the Freeburg players, and that draws the whistle. And Freeburg is going to have a free kick from just outside of their own 18-yard box. Actually, they're going to throw it in. I guess they didn't blow a whistle on that one. Serna finds the ball after the entrance, and then it's going to go over into the corner, and that one will be sent up the sideline where Freeburg, I knew I was going to do it at least once. Freeburg sends it into their own bench. Minute 45 left to play here in this first half. 0-0 between Collinsville and Freeburg. I don't normally do any other sports that involve Freeburg except hockey, so I'm kind of used to saying Freeburg-Waterloo. Over on the far side it goes. Lady Midgets, they have it. They send it up, but Munoz uses her head, comes back down. She almost runs into Judasek. Borm, she'll send it up the far sideline, trying to track it down before it goes out. As Serna, she does so, turns the corner to get past the defenseman in the 18-yard box, looking for a way to get that cross, but it ends up going across the line, and it's going to be a goal kick restart coming up here for Loge as we approach 1 minute left to play here in this first half. Collinsville, 2 shots on goal. Freeburg has 1. Loge sends a low one back out. Well, Everett got a hold of that one instantly. Everett sends it on back to Serna. Serna will take a shot, and that one is on. So Loge had to make a save and then had to control the rebound because Ava Smith was coming in on her, looking for the rebound goal. Loge will send the ball back out to midfield off of the head of Munoz and then off of the head of Finder for Freeburg. Comes down for Giannini. Giannini at the logo, sends it back to Munoz. Addy sends the ball up, but Freeburg sends it right on back. Here is Ella Smith. Pops the ball up, comes down into the logo area once again. Judasek couldn't find it. Comes back now for Bowen. Bowen sends the ball back up, and here is Finder once again. Finder sends the ball up. Collinsville's defense sending it right back. Almost tracked down there by Everett. And then Giannini will send it back the other direction just as the horn sounds. And that's going to do it for the first half of play. 0-0 between Collinsville and Freeburg. Time now for the halftime show, brought to you today by Woods Basement Systems, all things basementy. Woods Basement Systems, working to keep homes dry since 1986. Give them a call at their Collinsville headquarters, 708-4055. Woods Basement System halftime show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network. Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records, from country to hard-to-find jazz, and classic rock is always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl, new vinyl, and hard-to-find vinyl. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's, where you can check out the latest in audio gear, from new top-of-the-line speakers to turntables and receivers, plus all of the accessories. Rich's has t-shirts, record cleaners, turntable needles, wall art, and so much more. If you can't find what you're looking for at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Don't forget to mention seeing this ad on the Kahok Sports Network for a 10% discount at checkout. Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in Collinsville, or call 618-795-1333 or online at richesrecordemporium.com. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville is a T3 certified tire dealer and so much more. Sure, Mike's Automotive has tires. They can also help with making sure your entire vehicle is road ready, from belts and hoses to preventative maintenance like oil changes and tire rotation. Plus a lot more than that. Mike's Automotive has 3 locations to choose from. Mike's Automotive in St. Louis and Millstadt, and Mike's Automotive in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call Mike's Automotive at 618-345-0611. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville.
First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville and Collinsville locations, and now in Marissa, St. Laborie, and New Athens for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs with super low closing costs and low construction loan rates. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121, or visit their Maryville or Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, Equal housing lender.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside. Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224. We welcome you back into the Woods Basement Systems halftime show. We are at halftime, 0-0 between Collinsville and Freeburg. Earlier today, the JV teams went to a 1-1 tie. Reese Kaufman scored for Collinsville with about 16 minutes to go in the second half. 2 minutes later, Freeburg tied it up, and that's where we stand right now. Other Kahok scores we have for you today. Boys tennis, they won at Bunker Hill 4-2. Boys volleyball lost at Edwardsville. Varsity lost in 3 sets, JV in 2. Softball went to Belleville West and lost 18-0. And earlier today, the St. Louis Cardinals tried to take 3 of 4 from Cincinnati in Cincinnati, but lost today 9-1, so they split that 2-game series. That is a look at your halftime report, brought to you by Woods Basement Systems in Collinsville. If you have some water issues going on in your house you need to get taken care of, you need to call my friends at Woods Basement Systems, 618-708-4055. Second half action comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are Kahok Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Go Kahawks!
It's probably the largest purchase you'll ever make. We have 5 agents on our team.
We cover about an hour radius around St. Louis.
We grew up here. We know every town like the back of our hands.
Our job as realtors is helping someone find their dream home, whether it's a family or an individual. We just want to do everything that we can to keep the process as simple and as stress-free as possible for you.
The Blaylock Group, the official realtors of the Kahok Sports Network and Kahok Athletics. Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking. Conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage Team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100. Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville produces their own spirits and beer on site, right at the restaurant. Pair that with some of the most unique menu items around the entire metro area, and you can see why they are such a hit. They can handle you and your family, or they can handle you and your group. Throw in the occasional live entertainment, and you can see why Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville, 618-855-8027, or online at oldheraldbrewing.com. We are underway here in the second half of this soccer game between Collinsville and Freeburg. And in control of the ball right now, here come the Kahawks. They will send one over to the front of the 18-yard box, a little tripped up there. Now it comes back in front, and a shot that ends up going off of a body, but I think, no, they didn't call it offside. It's going to be a corner kick for Collinsville. Well, I already had them down for 2 when they changed their minds, so we'll just leave that one alone. Collinsville outshot Freeburg Waterloo in that first half, 3-1. Here is Rylan Judasek all the way over on the far side corner. Almost was successful last time. This one is going to come out to the other side off of a body in front, and then Freeburg got it out of there before they can even get a shot on goal. That ball bounced around for a little bit. Kahawks, they find it. Here is Carly Call over to Judasek. Rylan from an off angle tries a shot, but that's off of the backside of Mannion over there, and then it ends up going across the sideline. Collinsville will have a throw-in. Comes down. Kahawks stay with it, get it into the box, and Smith finds it, and then a little chip shot that ends up going over the net, and it'll be a goal kick restart coming up here for Maura Loge. We're just underway here in half number 2. Loge sends the ball back out toward midfield off of the head of Smith, and then kicked out of bounds by Freeburg. So Collinsville will have another throw-in, and that responsibility will fall to Ella as she gets the ball from sister Ava. The Smith twins in there at the same time. They'll throw the ball in off of Judasek. Judasek sends it back over to Smith. Smith trying to get a kick on that ball, but she had to wait for it to come down first. Judasek will send the ball back up to Ava. Ava in the middle for Van Dyke, and that's off of Van Dyke, and that'll be a Freeburg throw-in. Land ball comes in and gets past a couple of players, and then Smith finds it. Got that ball taken away. Freeburg pops it up into the air. Van Dyke sends it back down. And then Freeburg finds it again, but Smith back over to Van Dyke. Now back over to Ava Smith. Ava just outside the line, and Freeburg looking for a ball to be out of bounds, but it wasn't. Now it is. And the ball is going to belong to Collinsville once again. Kahawks will throw it in. It'll be Judasek who will take over the throw-in responsibility to Duhadway. Duhadway got taken down from behind. That'll draw a whistle, and Collinsville will have a free kick from about 20 yards away. Offset over here on this near side, right next to the corner of the 18-yard box. And here is Judasek once again. Ryland waiting. Referee says go right ahead. Judasek's ready. She'll send one over the net. Got a little bit too much under that. No wind to speak of. American flag laying limp out there over on the far side corner. A couple of stray clouds here and there, but the threatening skies have looked to have dissipated. And another goal kick restart coming up here for Loge. And Loge will send it over to the far side sideline, and that gets past everyone and will go in between the benches. Collinsville will have a throw in right from there, and they'll send it back up to Van Dyke. Van Dyke puts the ball right in front of her bench, and then Carly Call gets it from there, sends it up the far side sideline, but Freeburg takes over, and they'll look for a little bit of an offensive push. They send the ball over here to Smith. Smith trying to get around Smith. Nora trying to get around Ava. That ball comes right across, and Giannini will get there and just shove it over toward the far sideline where it will go out of bounds, and a throw-in will come over there from Freeburg. Just about 5 minutes expired here in this second half. Throw in from Freeburg, coming over from the far side into the 18-yard box off of the head of one of the Collinsville players. Kahawks send the ball up. Freeburg intercepts it from there. Back over here to this side. Sent up. And Smith trying to track the ball down. She can't, as Nora Smith banks it right off of the body of Ella Smith. We got three Smith girls on the field at the same time, and they're all right there together. Here is Van Dyke. Pops the ball up. And then Smith off of the head of Judasek. Judasek trying to find Hadway there, but Hadway got a little bit of a late break on that ball. And now Freeburg will send one on a one skipper right to Luge. Luge will send us back to work once again. Back out to midfield, right in the middle of the logo it falls. And then Ella Smith, will use her head. Excuse me, that was Ava. Comes down. And now back over here to Nora Smith for Freeburg. Back over to the defense for Freeburg, and play taking place there in midfield, not going much farther. Collinsville, Serna makes a nice move, trying to squeak that ball up, and Collinsville will then take over. Giannini will send the ball up the sideline, and it'll skirt that sideline, but looks like it's going to stay in bounds, so Freeburg will have to go back and get it, and they'll just tap it on back to Loge, and then Loge kicks it out of bounds. So Collinsville will have a throw-in from over there. Now, knocked back out of bounds by Collinsville, so Freeburg has the throw in. Call gets there first. Freeburg gets there next. Lady Midgets send it on up toward midfield. Looking to spring a little offense here. Hasn't been a lot for either side. Collinsville, 3 shots on goal. Freeburg with 2. And that one's off of the shins of Giannini. Comes spinning over this way, and Smith couldn't settle it down. And then her sister Ella gets a foot on it. Now back up to Ava. Ava tried to continue her forward progress, but that was stopped. And then Addie Munoz will chop the ball over toward the midfield circle to Van Dyke. Van Dyke then over for Ava Smith once again. Ava sends it back past the referee over to Lyra. Lyra will just toss it on back over to Carly Call. Call moves the ball up and gets it past the defense, but too far for anyone to do anything with it except for Loge. She'll take the bouncing ball and send it back to midfield. off of Addie Munoz. That kind of probably hit her in the ear. It looked like it. She didn't feel too well after that one. Here is Ava Smith. Ava puts on a nice move, gets around one, and then couldn't get around the other, and that ball is going to go across the end line, and it's going to turn into nope, it's not going to be a corner kick. I thought Freeburg sent that ball across the line, not Collinsville. So another goal kick restart coming up here for Maura Loge. Loge sends it over here off of Smith, and then a little spinning ball taken there by Freeburg. They'll send it up, but that'll be no problem for Bonemeyer. She'll come about 10 yards outside of her 18-yard box, and then a ball knocked down by the arm of one of the Freeburg players will give Collinsville a free kick from midfield. And it'll be Giannini right below our location. Giannini sends the ball right in front of the 18-yard box. Freeburg gets there first. Collinsville gets there next. Back over to Lyra. Lyra tried to send the ball up, but that was blocked out once again by Mannion. And now a loose ball picked up by Collinsville. They got it as close to the front of the 18-yard box as they could. And then Freeburg sent it out of bounds, so a throw-in coming up here for Serna on the far side sideline. Serna has that one come right back to her from Mannion, and she'll do it all over again. This time she finds Everwright. Everwright sends the ball up, and then again back out of bounds by Freeburg, and Collinsville will have another throw-in. Serna trying to throw that one a little bit deeper into the 18-yard box. Comes down, bounces off a couple of bodies. There's Van Dyke, and then a shot that's blocked out by the Freeburg defense. Comes down. Ava Smith trying to track it down. She couldn't, and Freeburg will finally come away with the ball over on the far sideline, or the near sideline. Comes all the way back to Munoz, though. Addie with her head up, looking for a little help. Pops it right to the front of the 18-yard box. Headed back out of there by Freeburg. And then the Lady Midgets look to go back to work trying to break out a little bit of offense, but that's going to have to wait. Collinsville got the ball back over to Judasek. Judasek gets it over to Smith. Smith couldn't stop the ball, and then that'll allow Freeburg to catch up with it, but then it comes back out for Ella Smith. And Ella trying to thread a pass over to Van Dyke, but didn't get enough on it, so Freeburg took over from there. And here is Mizell. Mizell cuts it in front of her own bench, trying to get around her defender over there. That's Carly Call, knocked out of bounds. Call wastes no time throwing it back in. Comes in off of, I believe that was a handball over there by Serna, so Freeburg's going to have a free kick from right in front of their bench. 29 minutes and some change left here in this second half. 0-0 between Collinsville and Freeburg. Kick coming over from the far side as they await. And back to work we go, and get that out of here, says Collinsville's defense. Freeburg sends it back up to the front of the 18-yard box. Rejected over there by Munoz. Lyra got pushed off of the ball. Collinsville takes over. Back over to the defense it goes. Giannini will send the ball back out to the midfield logo. And Smith got a hold of it first. That's Ava. Nothing doing there, so that'll go back to Collinsville's defensive side of things. And Freeburg looking to pick things up, but that ball is blocked out over there by Call. Call sends the ball up. Everwright. She's all alone at the midfield stripe, so she sends it up the sideline, but Collinsville didn't have enough there to send it in the right direction. Serna was trying to get there, but couldn't. And then the ball ends up going under the Collinsville bench, so it's going to be a throw-in over there for the Lady Kahawks and Serna. Couple of substitutions going on here as Ava Smith will head out. Throw-in comes down for Judasek. Comes back to where it came from. Kahawks send it up in the 18-yard box, but Loge is going to come out just as Everwright was going to get there. 27 and a half minutes to go here in this second half. Still no score. Collinsville and Freeburg playing a tight one here. Both teams played last night. Collinsville 4-0 winners at Centralia. Freeburg 7-2 winners against Carbondale. Back to Nora Smith. Nora Smith sends it up into the middle, picked up there by Lyra. Lyra will send the ball over, and Collinsville once again approaches the offensive zone, trying to thread the needle to Everwright, but that went too far again, and that allowed Loge to come out and pick it up. Back out to midfield. Curly Call. She's the first one to touch it. She stays with it. Comes up the sideline, looking to get around her defender. Does so, but the ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to be a throw-in over there for Freeburg. In front of the Kahok bench, stays with Freeburg. They throw it in. Out to midfield. Collinsville takes over. Call sends it up the sideline. Kahawks looking to push it again. Knocked around for a little while, then over on the far sideline it heads, and it's taken up over there by Bowen. Bowen sends it back up the sideline, stays in bounds. Collinsville keeps it just outside the 18-yard box. Here is a cross right into the middle. Trying to settle it down is Wilkerson, and she couldn't get a square shot away, and that ball ends up going wide of the near side post. A couple of more substitutions, one for each team, as Ella Borm will check back in for Collinsville, and it looks like Natalie Kicklighter will come into the game for the first time. Got two Kicklighters on this team, Natalie and Lauren. Natalie, the senior, Lauren, the sophomore. And here is Judasek with a shot, and that one's off the crossbar. And no one there to take care of any kind of a rebound. I think almost everybody thought it was going to go over the net, but it didn't. Hit squarely on that crossbar. And Collinsville has a little bit of dangerous stuff going on here as Borm tried to get to that one, couldn't. Freeburg comes away with it, and they'll send it up here to Nora Smith, but a little bit of a misplay there. We'll send it back over to Munoz. Munoz sends it on up to Everwright. Everwright into the midfield circle, finds Lyra. Liliana sends the ball up, but that's past everyone, and that's a no-problem bend down pickup ball for Loge. 24.5 minutes to go here in the second half. School is almost coming to a close. The first day of May means we only have weeks left. Unless you're a senior, then I think your seniors who have passed everything they need to pass will be done next week. Paige Bonemeyer will send the ball packing out toward midfield. Nora Smith got there first, but finds Addie Munoz. Munoz tried to send it up, but she got blocked out. Here's some little bit of trouble. Nora Smith is going to come in, but Giannini's going to get there quickly and close that down and send it across the sideline. Nice job there by number 13, Ashley Giannini, the junior defender, who also plays a little volleyball, plays a little basketball, does some track and field. That one is going to be a goal kick restart. And that goes across the end line, but put there by Freeburg. Giannini will take care of this one. Sends it back out toward midfield. Munoz sends it up now for Wilkerson. Wilkerson, the freshman, she's got some speed on her too. She has her head up, looking up the line, trying to free to Hadway, but that missed its mark. And now a bouncing ball. Munoz is going to do a little blocking action because Kicklighter was getting ready to come in, and Munoz blocked her out of there so Bonemeyer could pick up the ball. Bonemeyer sends the ball back out to the logo. Comes down for Borm. Borm sends it on up to Judasek. Judasek getting some pressure from behind, and a whistle as that pressure was a little too much tugging by Maya Sanders. And Collinsville will have a free kick from midfield. Giannini will take this one. About 50 yards away or so. No helping wind in either direction, or hurting wind for that matter. Giannini will send one up toward the front of the box, picked up first by Freeburg, but Collinsville gets there second. Now here is Borm. Borm will send it back over this way for Ella Smith. Smith trying to send the ball over to the sideline and then go chase it down, but she hit it too hard. So the Lady Midgets will have the throw in, as Ava Smith will check back in and take the place of Lyra. And the throw in coming right down in front of Alex Paz.
Freeburg substitution number 17, Allie Lubenkoff.
Lubenkoff checks back into the game for Freeburg as well. That one gets over the head of the defenders, but Giannini, she'll chase it down first, and instead of kicking it back to Bonemeyer, she'll continue to move forward. Borm gets the ball up to Wilkerson. Wilkerson trying to fend off a couple of defenders there. Ball comes loose. Munoz gets there first, sends the ball up. Oh, Hadway couldn't stop it. And it goes back to the defense, and here is Fonte. She'll just send it on back to Loge. Loge will send it back out to midfield. Off of Carly Call, comes down for Smith. Over here for Wilkerson. Wilkerson, once again, she has some nice moves too. Gets it up to DeHadway. DeHadway approaches the 18-yard box, gets in at the beginning, and then got pushed back out. Comes into the middle. Collinsville couldn't get there fast enough, and then Freeburg will send it out right at the end of the Kahok bench. Be a throw-in coming up here for Call. Almost halfway through the second half, 0-0. Collinsville out shooting Freeburg 4-2 in the shots on goal department. So the defense has done a nice job tonight, keeping all the primetime shots away. That one was off of the arm of DeHadway, so Freeburg's going to have a free kick, but it's going to be from about 90, 85 yards away. And it is on the way into Collinsville's defense, but the defense sends it right back into the offensive zone. That takes a bad hop right past DeHadway. She was trying to track it down and turn around with it. Comes back in. Collinsville sends it right back out. DeHadway trying to chase it down once again. She'll get there right in front of her bench and then got stepped right in front of. And then she'll turn over. Here comes DeHadway into the box. She'll send one in. That one just goes past the near side post, as that ball goes off of the hands of Loge, and that's going to turn into a corner kick coming up here for Collinsville. So the shot was on goal, and Loge got a hand on it and just knocked it past the near side post. Judasek from this near side corner, taking the third corner kick of the game for Collinsville. And that one's blocked out. And we're going to have another corner kick. Fourth corner kick coming up here for the Kahawks. Judasek, one more time. Let's get one of these to go in. Set piece goal. That one's going to go out the other side and off of the head of one of the Lady Kahawks, and that'll cross the end line, and it'll turn into a goal kick restart coming up here for Loge, as Freeburg exchanges 4 players. 4 players come in, 4 players head out. Coming up on 18 minutes left to play here in this second half. Loge ready and sends it over here to this near side sideline off of Judasek. Travels into the right direction for Collinsville, and then Freeburg kicks it out of bounds. So Lady Kahawks will have a throw-in from over here. And it'll be Ella Smith. Ella throws the ball up. Missed its target. And back out to midfield for Giannini. Giannini, she gets taken off the ball, stays with it, though, long enough to get it back. Here is Ava Smith. Sends it over to Wilkerson. Layla comes up around and sends the ball in front to DeHadway. DeHadway is getting tugged on from behind and manages to get a shot toward the front of the 18-yard box, rejected, and then the Lady Midgets will come out of it and send it back up to the midfielders. Midfielders moving it up forward, and Collinsville will get there next, and Eddie Munoz will send a spinner over toward the midfielders area, and then back out toward the midfield logo it goes. Collinsville trying to get there first. Here is Carly Call. She puts on a nice move, got a little bit of room and some speed, trying to get around another defender over there, and she'll catch up to the ball just outside of the 18-yard box, and then everybody falls down. And we are going to have another corner kick coming up here for Collinsville. This will be the Lady Kahawks' 5th corner kick in this game. Now the Kahawks want to do some wholesale player changes. 3 come in, 3 go out. Judasek will take another corner kick over on the far side corner this go-around. And instead it's going to be a pass from the corner, but the referee's going to blow his whistle. I don't think they were ready yet. So we'll do this one again. Now he blows the whistle, and we're ready to go. This will be a true corner kick. Oh, that one comes out low. Collinsville trying to do a little tic-tac-toe there. They get a shot and a save by Aluge. And Collinsville will get their 6th corner kick. The last 3 have come in a row here. We'll try it again. Keep on trying it till you get it right. Judasek. On the way. This one comes out front as well. Settle it down. Collinsville's trying to. Couldn't do so. Freeburg emerges with it. Collinsville sends it right back into the 18-yard box, and Aluge had to make another save over there on that far side post. As we approach 15 minutes, that's a big, powerful kick there. It's going to take a Freeburg bounce. Collinsville is lucky they got Ashley Giannini out there because she actually got ahead of the forward and then circled around, took the ball away. And Giannini, with her head up, comes up to midfield, and that ball gets knocked back. Collinsville still takes control of it, and they'll send it up the line to Hadway. Is not going to have enough time to get there, and then the Loge will come out right at the front of the 18-yard box and pick that ball up. Another strong kick by Loge. Back out to midfield. Sent down. Nora Smith trying to track it down as Ella Smith is trying to take over, and then it comes in front, but no one there for Freeburg. That was a good cross, but that one ends up going past everyone except for the 2 Lady Kahawks back there, and they'll just send it across the sideline, and it'll be a throw-in from there for Freeburg. Lubinkoff will take this throw. Collinsville trying to get it out of the 18-yard box. They do. They'll send the ball back over to Mannion, and Mannion will send it over across the sideline. And Collinsville will have a throw-in from there. Comes down, and we're kind of stuck in front of the Freeburg bench until that ball comes loose. Collinsville sends it up toward midfield. Ball squirts away from everyone, and then Freeburg gets a hold of it, sends it back up. But Smith sends it up to Borm. Borm moves, or excuse me, that's Van Dyke. Van Dyke puts on a nice move. Got Wilkerson over here on the sideline and says she tries to pass to DeHadway. And DeHadway in the middle just had to go right off the top of her foot, and then it rolled too far away for her to catch up with it. Back out at the midfield logo. They'll send the ball up. And an opportunity once again here is Finder. Finder circles, takes a shot. That's too high, and it goes over the net. And it'll be a goal kick restart coming up here for Paige Bonemeyer as we approach 13 minutes left to play here in this second half. 0-0 contest. Bonemeyer will go ahead and let Giannini take this kick. Out to midfield and beyond. Collinsville trying to move that ball into the forward scoring position. They'll hit the back line of the defense there for Freeburg, and then Smith will send the ball back up to the offense, and the defense sends it right back and then off of the head of Addie Munoz, and Munoz will have to chase this one down. She'll tap it on back over to Bonemeyer. Bonemeyer will kick the ball back out toward midfield. Takes a Freeburg bounce, but Ella Smith sends it back just outside the circle area, and then trying to find the ball was to Hadway. She got a little tug from behind, stays with it anyway, and then she gets stopped right at midfield, and Freeburg will take over and send it back to their defense. Ooh, that was almost a good steal there by Wilkerson. Collinsville being a little dangerous here with these forwards, trying to take these balls away, and then they'll tap it on back over to Loge. Loge will send the ball back out to midfield, but Lear is the first one to get there, and then a little shove down from behind. Collinsville will get a free kick from about 35 yards away. That is Ashley Giannini territory. Judasek already up there, though. I think we're going to let her take this one. So Judasek from about 35 yards out, ready to take a kick here. Collinsville's had some chance on some of these set pieces, just can't capitalize. Let's see if we can now. Judasek sends one, and it's going to go out of bounds wide over onto the far side. So another set piece opportunity goes by the wayside here for Collinsville. Collinsville has 6 shots on goal and 6 corner kicks. A little low screamer comes out. Freeburg gets there first, but Everwright is going to get there second. Now a bouncing ball. That's going to be handled by Van Dyke. She'll send it back over to Carly sends the ball up to Judasek. Judasek sends it up the sideline. Nice move over there. Collinsville looking for a cross. They'll get one in front, but Judasek couldn't get there, and the defense for Freeburg did. Now the Kahawks go back to work. Here is Call. Sends it up, and a chance for Everwright. She takes a shot, and a save by Loge. Loge sends us back to action once again with a high ball into the nighttime sky as we are just under 10 minutes to go here in regulation. Freeburg, their defense has control. Off of the body of Everwright, and out of bounds. It'll be a Collinsville throw-in. And Ella Smith will take this one. Throws it on up and finds Everwright. Back over to Smith. Smith looks, finds Van Dyke. Van Dyke gets around a defender, sends the ball into the corner of the box, trying to track it down, but had too much speed on it, and Serna was not able to catch up to that one. Throw in coming up here for Freeburg. Got a little chilly since that sun went down. Comes back out. Collinsville going back to work. They send it up to Everwright. Everwright's got a little pocket of room there, but she banks it right off of the shins of one of the Lady Midget defenders. And now Freeburg moves it up on the offensive side of things, but that gets away from Mizell over on the far side. She tracks it back down, and then she's chased down from behind by Serna, but that ball goes out of bounds off of Eliana. And in between the benches, the Lady Midgets throw it back in. Sent up to the midfield circle. Tap back over to the defense. Defense trying to make that transition up to Nora Smith. Can't continue. Collinsville gets a hold of it. Munoz sends the ball back down. Here is Judasek after DeHadaway got her body in front of it. And now Everwright, but that ball again looks a little bit too fast on some of these passes. They end up rolling all the way to the goalkeeper. And Loge sends it back out to the midfield logo. Comes down. Collinsville sends it back up to Hadway. Trying to get on her horse to go track it down. She does. Comes just outside the 18-yard box. She has to track it down once again. Sends it up in front, but Freeburg gets there, and then a shot, and just missed. Just went over the outside post. And I'm guessing that Loge didn't touch it because everybody's leaving, and Loge is going to have a goal kick restart here. Boy, that was close. A bunch of folks thought that went in because there was an optical illusion as that ball had a little bit of spin to it and ended up spinning behind the net. Another low kick out there by Loge. Comes down for Collinsville. Kahawks looking to continue the attack, and that ball ends up going out of bounds. We're going to end up having a call on that play. For initially, I thought they said it went out of bounds, but at the same time, Collinsville had a player taken out over there on that sideline. That's exactly what happened. So from about 30 yards away, Judasek on the near side sideline is going to take this free kick. Collinsville has had some chances on some set pieces, trying to make one of them work. 30 yards away, far side sideline. Judasek gets the okay to go ahead. Ball on the way. Nice trajectory on it, and off of a head, comes out of the other side of the 18-yard box. And Everwright couldn't track it down, and Collinsville will throw it in. Here is Addie Munoz. Munoz directing some traffic first. Throws the ball up and off of the head of Van Dyke, but she'll track it down, send it back out to Addie. Addie will send the ball toward the front of the net, and then a little tip by Serna, but it goes right to Loge. And Collinsville, with their 8th shot on goal, just can't find the right combination to put one in the net. We approach 6 minutes left to play here in this second half. 0-0 between these two teams. Freeburg back out to midfield. Collinsville intercepts. Comes out for Van Dyke. Van Dyke gets kind of taken down from behind. Collinsville's going to have another free kick, but this one is going to be right on the top of the logo here. Giannini will take this one. Right on the football field's 50-yard line. Giannini sends it up front, and I believe that Van Dyke got there first, but she got taken off the ball on a nice body check there, and then it comes free. Carly Call trying to keep it together there and keep everything alive for Collinsville. They do, and then Freeburg sends it back out to midfield, and then it'll take a midget bounce, and they'll send it back to Bonemeyer. Will Munoz. Bonemeyer sends the ball back out past the midfield logo. Everybody kind of missed it, and now Everwright trying to track it down. She can't. She'll send it over here to Nora Smith. Smith puts on a couple of nice moves there and keeps the ball going for her teammates. And will get the ball onto the foot of Finder. Finder trying to feed Smith up the near side sideline, but that feed went just a little bit too far. Under 5 minutes to go here in the second half. Here is Everwright. Everwright punches it into the middle to Judasek. Judasek got taken off of that ball by Finder, and then Collinsville will catch up to it. Serna sends the ball up, banks off a couple of bodies, and then Freeburg will come up with it, and then Serna will get called for a push down of Ali Lubinkoff, and Freeburg will have a free kick. All right, free kick is on the way, and off of a body, and it rolls all the way in. And scooping it up over there is Paige Bonemeyer. As we approach 4 minutes left to go here in the second half. Bonemeyer sends the ball back out to midfield, settled down over there by Serna. Serna sends it back over to Munoz. Munoz was trying to feed it up here to Everwright, but that's too far. That'll result in a throw-in for the Lady Midgets. They do so. Comes right back to where it came from and then sent into the offensive zone off of Giannini. Giannini will track it down using that speed. Stays in front of her competition. Gets the ball up. Nice feed over on the far side. Collinsville's got attackers coming. There's a shot on goal and a save, and then it's off of the hands of Loge and out of bounds. So Collinsville's going to have their 7th corner kick of this game. We got to connect on one of these days, man. Judasek. She'll take another corner kick from the far side. It is on the way, stays low, comes out front, and then very much out front, taken up there by Lyra. Lyra will send it back over to Ryland. Judasek from just outside of the 18-yard box tries to send a crossing pass in there, but that's going to go out of bounds. Now Judasek will have a throw-in over there near that corner flag. And it comes into the 18-yard box and then gets sent right back out, and we'll have another corner kick. Got to track down the ball first. 2.5 minutes to go here in this second half. Collinsville being ever dangerous. They'll throw it into the 18-yard box, and then Loge will come out and take care of that before anyone else could get there. And then a kick all the way back out to midfield off of Carly Call, but that hit her in the arm, so Freeburg will have a free kick from midfield. 2 minutes to go here in this second half. Collinsville's played a very good game. Just can't sync up the combinations to put one behind the goalkeeper and into the net. .55 yards away for Freeburg. It's on the way toward the front of the box and off of a head. Comes down. Nora Smith trying to track it down. She got a little bit of a kickoff, but it stayed on goal. Third shot on goal for Freeburg as Bonemeyer makes the save. She sends it back out quickly, knowing that time is of the essence here with 80 seconds left to play here in this second half. Again, non-conference opponent means no overtime. And here's Munoz trying to track the ball down. Got knocked away from it. Back over to Smith. Smith sends it back out to the midfield logo. 1 minute to go. And Bonemeyer will send the ball back out to midfield over the head of Wilkerson. Wilkerson still trying to track it down. She couldn't get there in time. That ball comes down right at midfield. Collinsville sends the ball up, looking for a little offensive push here, but they're going to tap that ball back over to Loge, and Collinsville gets it to come back down again, but Freeburg will then find the loose ball with 30 seconds to go here in this second half. They'll send the ball up, and that one's going to get too far past Collinsville's last player out there, and Loge picks that one up, sends it back out to midfield once again. Off of Giannini. Giannini lost control and sends it back up to Munoz. Munoz to Judasek. Judasek sends it over to Wilkerson. Wilkerson looking to get around a defender, couldn't do so. Smith will send the ball over to the sideline, and that's going to do it. We will end this one in a 0-0 tie. Collinsville out shooting Freeburg. 9 shots on goal for Collinsville, 3 for Freeburg. And we result in a 0-0 tie. That means we are moving our way into the post-game show. Brought to you today by LC's Pub in Caseyville. I can look out my window here at the press box and see LC's Pub in Caseyville. Great food, great service, all served up daily at LC's Pub in Caseyville. 605 North Main Street is where you'll find them. You can give them a call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007. Post-game show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
Your home is where you feel happy, safe, and secure. So if you see signs of foundation problems like cracks or uneven floors, worrying is natural, and getting it fixed is crucial. Woods Basement Systems understands. We've been solving foundation worries since 1986. Woods experts have the training and equipment to make permanent repairs. So stop worrying, because with Woods, it's fixed forever. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods, the all things basement-y experts. Call or go to woodsbasementsystems.com today.
The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org. Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com. Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. The Petroff Companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton or call 618-467-8420. Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus, they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
We welcome you back into the LC's Pub post-game show here on the Kahok Sports Network, Collinsville and Freeburg. A 0-0 tie after 80 minutes of play, and joining us now on the other microphone is assistant coach Sydney Carroll. How are you, dear?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. All right, let's flash back in time for me a little bit. And Centralia yesterday, 2 wins, JV win and varsity win, both by scores of 4-0. So tell me about your JVers first.
They played really well. They needed that win so badly. We've had so many games this year that just one thing here, one thing there leads us to not winning a game. And it's unfortunate. I think I have a very talented group as a JV team this year. Just things are just not clicking in the final third for us. We're struggling to find goals. So it was nice to see some girls get on the board yesterday and score, and the girls were all excited and celebrating for each other. So that's always fun to watch. So.
Yeah. Then it transitioned over to the varsity side where they also won 4-0. So tell us a little bit about that one. I know Peyton DeHadway had 2 goals in that game.
It was an interesting game. We started off again, kudos to Centralia. They played really hard, and we didn't to start the game. So yes, we were winning at half, 1-0, but we stressed to the girls. We're like, you're not playing well enough. You're not playing hard enough. You're not playing fast enough. Just because you're the better team in this situation doesn't mean you can take steps off. We want to go forward. We want to go, and we want to go. We want to go. So, again, they did that in the second half, and it showed, but we scored 3 goals in the second half. So.
Yeah. All right, and then we made our way back home for this game against Freeburg. Your JVers got the first goal. The young freshman you have there, Reese Kaufman, scored a goal, the only goal for Collinsville, but then 2 minutes later, Freeburg gets the equalizer.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I know Jayla Weisinger was beating herself up a little bit on that because she's usually pretty consistent on getting those. It just slipped through her hands, and I told her, it happens. It's been raining off and on all day. The turf's wet, the ball's wet. It happens. Because, I told her, I'm you've never played goalie before this season.
Yeah.
You've improved from the time you started at tryouts to now. The amount of improvement you've made is huge. Does it suck? Yes. Does it, you want to take it back and wish you could change it? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, we didn't lose. We scored a goal.
Yeah.
So progress.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
Kind of the same thing in the varsity game, but I liked the effort. The effort was there.
100%.
And there was a lot of plays there. The only thing you guys didn't do was get the ball behind the goalkeeper.
Yes.
But you tried real hard. You had 9 shots on goal by my count.
Yep.
And the defense did their job, only allowing Freeburg 3 that whole game. So, all in all, very good game.
Absolutely. And I think that's kind of a game that we needed. It's just in the last couple games, you've got the West game that didn't go very well for us. The O'Fallon game on Tuesday didn't go very well for us. Yesterday, yes, it's a win, but it's still we needed to work on things. And tonight, I thought they moved the ball really well. I thought they attacked really well together, which is something we tend to struggle with. We'll attack with 1 or 2 people. I felt like we were getting numbers forward and wanting to score, and that's always nice to see, especially because we were missing 2 seniors tonight. Who play a lot of minutes for us. So we had some younger girls stepping up in the varsity game tonight. So it's good to see them want to go and want to do well at the varsity level.
Yeah, and you had some opportunities because you had plenty of set pieces. I had 7 corner kicks, and I didn't keep track of the free kicks, but you probably had about 4 of those.
At least, yeah. That's always something we're working on, wanting to go and wanting to head the ball. We are not a team that likes to head the ball, unfortunately, and we stress to them, girls, it's soccer. You have to head the ball. It's part of the game. So just trying to find our way to connect in the final third is that's our last piece that we're kind of missing.
Yeah. Seedings came out today. You guys got the number 6 seed for the upcoming playoffs. And myself and Chris Kettler and Zach Roseman always going back and forth on what we think the matchups are going to be and where we're going to play. And one of them threw out the fact that Collinsville could play Alton in the play-in game here.
Yep.
And I wouldn't mind that because we get a game here and we get a chance to win. Because if you don't get the play-in game, then you're facing Edwardsville right off the bat or O'Fallon right off the bat.
So we got the 6th seed, West. So typically how it would fall, West gets the 3rd seed, so we would play Belleville West. So usually it's like the 8-9 seed play the playing game. They play the number 1 seed. 7 seed goes to 2. 6 goes to 3.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Either way, I think I would love to play Alton, obviously, and hopefully get a win in that scenario. But I honestly, I would love to play West again.
Yeah.
I think I played for all 4 of the coaches at Belleville West at one point, so I talked to them after the game, and they all said they're like, that's not a typical Collinsville Belleville West game. The game where we took them to overtime is very much more what to expect in that scenario.
Yeah, I did both of those games, and I like the one that went to overtime better.
Me too. Hopefully that our girls will come out. If we get that game, the girls will be out ready to go and want a little bit of revenge in that scenario.
And we got Alton on Tuesday, so there might be a little bit of a practice there.
Yep. Like I said, Alton, I have been it's been so fun to watch Alton this year. I'm not going to lie. While the wins aren't coming for them, they play with so much heart. And that's what you tell the girls. We're like, even if wins aren't coming, you have to play with heart. You have to play you want to be here. You want to be excited. And so I think that if that could rub off on us a little bit, it'd be great.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're kind of fun to be around. They're great coaching staff. So it's always fun when we get to play them.
Thank you for the visit, dear.
No problem.
Appreciate it. You have a nice weekend.
Thank you. You too.
All right. That is Sydney Carroll, one of the assistant coaches here for Jody Munoz and her Lady Kahok soccer team. That's going to do it for us. A big thank you to Sydney Carroll. Another big thank you to Ella Borm joining me on the pregame show. We are finished until Tuesday. It's an Alton kind of Tuesday. The Lady Kahok soccer team will be at Alton on Tuesday. The Lady Kahok softball team will be at home to take on Alton. Zach Roseman will have that game for you on the Kahok Broadcast Club Student Network. I will be at Fletcher Field for the first time this year to bring you the baseball game between Collinsville and Alton. So, until then, everyone, have a great weekend and enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. My name is Todd Duke. See you later.